right, so I grew up playing three sports. Originally, started with baseball, like t-ball or whatever, whenever I was really young,
Okay.
and then football was probably my second sport that I started. Um, Football is my favorite for the longest time growing up, probably from like second grade till sixth grade probably.
Okay.
Because that was always my best sport. I started playing basketball later on, probably around fifth or sixth grade. I was never very good at basketball growing up because I put the least amount of time in, and I just played it for fun at that point, really. So football was my favorite, and then once I got into middle school, it got a little bit different. I played football for the school team, and I hated my coach, and he honestly just ruined football for me. And after that, I low-key just didn't want to play my 8th grade year, so I didn't play, and I wanted to start playing again in high school, and I never did, unfortunately, but...
Was that due to coach,
well,
not having a good coach kind of set it the wrong way?
Yeah, the coach, it was like a combination of a few things. I didn't like the coach in 7th grade. He kind of ruined things for me, and then going into high school, I was really small. I didn't really grow much until I was probably a junior in high school, because on my driver's license whenever I was 16, I think I was listed at like 5'8", 130 on my driver's license, so
It was small for
I
football,
was
yeah.
pretty small for football. I still had the speed and like the athleticism, I guess,
Yeah.
but when you're that small, it makes it hard to like compete with bigger people, even
True, yeah.
even if you have other attributes, I guess. So yeah, football didn't really end up working out for me, but I played basketball. I'd say in middle school, I started focusing more on basketball. I was never really good in middle school. I went to a big school, so I was always playing on like the 7th and 8th grade B teams. I got a few minutes in the A games.
That's good.
It was like a two-way contract in the NBA.
Yeah,
I barely played in the A games, and then I played like most of the B games.
Yeah.
But I was never really that good, and then going into high school, I ended up transferring to a different school, a little bit smaller school, and from 8th grade to my freshman year, I really started to focus on basketball, because at that point I didn't play baseball my 8th grade year because I just didn't really enjoy baseball that much. And then transferring schools, I was planning on playing baseball, and then I just never could find the passion or the interest in continuing to play it, so I saw it as like kind of a waste of time for me, because you got to do summer practices and stuff with baseball, and then work out in the fall, and then all that until the spring, and I really didn't have enough interest in it to continue to play it. And also, like I said, with football, I was still pretty small and competing with, I don't know, I was small and I wasn't strong enough to I don't know, but so those two sports, football and baseball just didn't really work out for me. But I continued to play basketball. I really focused on basketball that summer going into my freshman year. Put a lot of time in practicing, and then when the basketball season finally came around after like all the summer workouts and then the fall workouts, I played on the freshman team. I wanted to play on the JV team, but it was probably better off that I didn't, because I got a lot more minutes on the freshman team than I would have on JV.
That's good.
As a freshman, and it was more like a developmental thing.
Yeah.
It allowed me to be more of a scoring type player instead of just being out there and letting other people do the scoring. So
gain confidence.
Yeah, it allowed me, exactly, to get my confidence up. And then after my freshman year, I had a pretty good freshman year. We're in a pretty big conference. Or freshman year, we didn't do conference tournaments. We did county tournaments. So we were the smallest school in my county. So we really just didn't even have a chance
Yeah.
going against.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think our tallest player was like, I don't even know, maybe 6 foot, and we were playing against like 6'5" freshmen. It was
Jeez,
ridiculous. Yeah.
Hard to compete with that.
Yeah, no, it's hard to compete with that. We put up a decent fight against Fishers, which my school is a lot smaller than Fishers, but we put up a decent fight against them, but we didn't really have a chance. And then going into JV, I was looking to have more of like a bigger role in the JV team because I was now a sophomore, and honestly,
Did you feel that confidence?
what?
Did you feel you had that confidence going in sophomore year?
Going into it, I did have a lot of confidence because, like I said, I was one of the better players on my freshman team.
Yeah.
Probably the highest scorer on the team, and then going into that JV season, I still felt like I should be one of the top scorers, I guess. But going into it, I ended up not having the greatest year. Well, it's not that I played bad per se, I guess. But we had 2 juniors that also played on JV, and they got like pretty much most of the shots. So
Yeah.
it was hard to get any gain any confidence when most of the time those guys were shooting the ball. So I mean, I would go in there, I would play good defense, and I'll do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But at some point, it was tough to do much more than that.
You can only do so much.
Yeah.
Shot where you can.
I know. And then after that, going into my junior season, at this point, I knew that I was probably going to play varsity. My coach had made it apparent that I was definitely going to be playing varsity that year. Because I probably could have played a little bit of varsity my sophomore year, but I honestly wasn't ready. I was still small at that point, and then
Yeah.
by my junior year, I'd gotten a little bigger, and I was ready to play varsity. I was still like not very strong. Like I was smaller than most of the guys, but still, I felt my skills were there, and so I was able to get on the varsity team. Well, play varsity games most of the time. At the beginning of the season, I figured I'd be coming off the bench a lot and just like getting less minutes. I didn't figure that I'd be playing too much because I wouldn't say we had a stacked team, but there was like a set few players that I knew were going to play over me.
Yeah, some good players.
But going into it after our first game, I played really well in our first game, and I was like the 6th or 7th man off the bench. And then after like 3 games, completely unexpected, before the game, coach told me I was going to be starting.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so, well, at this point, I wasn't really, it was kind of the same role I had on that, on our JV team.
Okay.
I wasn't really scoring much, although I knew I could probably score a little bit. I knew that my teammates that were a little bit better than me, so they got most of the shots up most of the time, and so I didn't score much that year, but I did end up starting after those first 3 games. I pretty much started every other game of the season,
That's awesome.
which
man.
was really cool because it allowed me to gain a lot of experience.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And a lot of confidence, honestly, going into my senior year. But then going into my senior year, that spring before the summer practices and all that, going into senior year, I had a really bad ankle sprain.
Oh, wow.
In one of our practices, I jumped up, landed on somebody's foot, just completely rolled my ankle.
Sucks, yeah.
And that really killed me because before that, I felt like I was at my peak athletic ability. Like I was getting up, I was dunking with ease, getting
Yeah.
some cool dunks down, some trick, some, I don't know, style points
Just get it
on them,
done,
you know?
Yeah. Just
But
unexpected,
yeah, and then after I did that, completely just, that killed me because it was pretty bad. I couldn't walk on it for a good 2 weeks after that.
Jeez, yeah.
It was bad. I thought I broke it. My athletic trainer thought I broke it too. Immediately after, she's like, "Yeah, you gotta go get X-rays on this because this is one of the worst. If it's a sprain, it's one of the worst ones I've ever seen."
Wow, yeah.
So she didn't think it was a sprain. She thought I broke it.
That's bad.
So I got X-rays, didn't break it, but still, it took me a while. Injuries like that, even after you, I guess, recover and it doesn't hurt to walk or run or anything, it still linger. took me a while to rebuild back the muscles and
Yeah.
my whatever down there.
How long of a recovery is that?
I don't know. It took me like to get back on the court. It probably took me 2 months to like feel comfortable running and stuff.
Yeah, that's a long time.
To feel completely comfortable like jumping and just like get back to where I was before, it was probably around 3 months or so. So that definitely sucked because I did do the summer practices, but
Okay.
it was rough. So I didn't have the success that I wanted to over the summer and like our scrimmages and stuff, and that really hurt my confidence. And then back going into the fall practices of that senior year, finally started to get back to where I was before, and I was feeling confident and pretty ready for the season. And then we went into the season, and I knew that I had to be like one of our better players that year because most of the guys before I graduated. So now I was a senior. I was the guy that wanted to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So I played really well my senior year, I'd say, and I probably averaged around 15 points a game.
That's good, yeah.
Which is I'd say is pretty good. I ended up being, I think, all conference second team or something like
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
And then all county second team as well, which I was proud of because our county was really stacked with players.
Yeah, yeah. Coming off injury too.
Yeah. So that was fun. Probably the most fun I've ever had playing basketball, just because we weren't really good. We most of the teams we played were also really stacked that year. So I felt like we were pretty solid, but it was just unfortunate that everybody in our conference was really good that year
Yeah.
too. So that sucked. But yeah, that was probably the most fun I've ever had playing basketball. And then after that, I felt like I could play in college, but ultimately came to the decision that I didn't really want to. And yeah,
Yeah, sweet.
that's it.
That's awesome.